Hi, I'm Lori from Purposefully Unplugged. All year, Dave, you and I have been talking about the books on my bookshelf, and today I am pulling another one. This is a great CBT book, Cognitive Behaviour Therapy. So the reason I picked this book out, Dave, was because we're coming into winter. You know, this is the October edition, so hope to see everyone at Norfolk County Fair. It's my absolute favorite place at this time of year. But we're coming into winter, Dave. So if you want a book that you can sit with, really read through, really think about, this might be a book you want to consider. The reason I like it is because there are chapters on worry. There's chapters on overthinking. There's chapters on visualization, mindfulness. And in each of those chapters, there's things that are very helpful and there's activity sheets. So to me, this is a book that every family should have. Because if you're not struggling with something in this book, your nephew is, your cousin is, grandma might be, or a child might be. So I see this book not only as a personal, but as a family book that is good to have on every family bookshelf.
There's a lot to unpack right there. You kind
I
of got
know.
me when you said overthinking. So I want to touch on that first because I do think a lot of us overthink simple problems and make them bigger than they are,
Yeah.
correct?
Absolutely. We tend to do that. So the word around that is rumination, that when that thought just can't leave and it gets bigger, 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 that's rumination. The other way to think about this is hot thoughts. So HOT, hot thoughts, because sometimes they just hit us out of the blue. And for most of us, they're the same thoughts over and over and over again. So in my practice, it's things like, I'm not good enough. Or it's things like, I'll never achieve, or I'm not able, or my weight is always going to be an issue. And there's just these hot thoughts that some of us have. And that is an entire chapter in this book where then it breaks it down, helps you to identify, helps you to break the thought down, and then shift the thinking around it. So that was a great one. And you hit that random because sometimes, Dave, we practice these ahead of time and today we didn't. So you hit that one right on the nail. It is a complete chapter in this book.
I want to talk too for a minute. Are
Yeah.
these now this book, is it an easy read? Like one of the things I struggle with when I read, I'm more of an observation guy, but when I
Yeah.
do read, I really have to take my time to break things down to understand it. Is this book sort of fit with that need for people?
I'd say yes, because each chapter is its own chapter. If you want the chapter on worry, then you read that chapter. Now, it's not giving you all of the brain kind of function and it's not giving you those pieces. It's giving you the practical solving. Think about it this way.
Ah,
This is why it likely started. And these are some strategies that can be a solution for you. So that was a fabulous question too, because each chapter, you don't have to read the whole book. I'm sure it's 400 pages, but you can pick the chapter that makes sense to you.
yeah, I like that idea. And you said another one that you brought up was worry. And I think that's something
Yeah,
that's constant in society today, is it not?
absolutely. And so worry is really kind of at the root of a lot of our stress levels. So stress is something that's just killing us slowly. And I know that's a bad thing to say, but stress is at the root of so many other illnesses, and worry is at the root of stress. So, absolutely. And so, with worry control, it's the idea again of what is the concern, break it down, how to restructure, how to affirm the thought process, and how to move forward through the worry, whatever topic that might be. I mean, we worry about our health. We worry about our jobs. We worry about society, the economy. We worry about all kinds of things, and they're all valid. But how can you worry enough, but not too much? How can you gain control of that worry?
Yeah, because you need to worry a little bit to understand the
Hmm.
situation you're in.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you see a lot of folks where it just overtakes them
Hmm.
and then they can't make decisions that are practical. So this book sort of gives
Hmm.
you that opportunity to look at
Hmm.
solutions
Hmm.
maybe while you're in that moment, right?
Hmm. Absolutely. That's why I think it's a good book for every family to have, because these things are going to crop
Yeah.
up in every family, no matter what it is. Now, the balance in this book, though, too, are things like visualizations and activities. And honestly, the way this came up, Dave, was because I was with a client and I did an activity. And he's a reader, so he always wants to know what book it came from and where it was. So I had to stop myself and say, you know what? I do not remember what book that's from. So it brought me home, pulled it off the shelf, and an hour later I texted him and gave him the book title. So organically, this is how it happened. This book has impressed me so much that I use it all the time in my practice, and it brought me back to pulling it off the shelf, which is why I decided this is a good month to highlight this book, particularly coming up to the winter months where it can just sit on a table. Pull it out, put it back. Do some of the activities, put it back. So I started this by saying it's full of actual activities, visualization, calming strategies. There are several pages just related to those kinds of calming strategies.
Wow. And what was the book called again? Fear and Thought?
No,
I'm sorry.
Thoughts and feelings, taking control of your moods and your life. So McKay, Davis, and Fanning. And there we are again.
And we'll put that book up at the end and have it so folks can get a look-see and find it. It's probably online somewhere, folks. You can pick it up. Yes. Or, how people get a hold of you, Lori, though, if they want to take this one step further and have a conversation with you, how do they do that?
Phone is always best, Dave, 226-934-7425, or email Lori at purposefullyunplugged.com.
Thanks for doing this, Lori. Can't wait for next month.
Take care.